But let's move over to topic two. Total 180, different direction here. I want to talk about a little show that I've been watching recently, an anime. We're getting back into the swing of things with that. Lady and I have fully dived into a show called Demon Slayer, and we are enjoying it a lot. So I kind of want to talk about Demon Slayer. Now, Demon Slayer's been going for a little while. I believe the show is on season 4 or 5. I could be wrong about that. Maybe, no. It's 3 seasons, and then they have a movie out. My bad. That's what it is. So far, Lady and I have plowed our way through by binge watching season 1 and season 2. And then we started season 3, the entertainment arc. But unfortunately, they do not have dubbed versions of the rest of that saga or that arc yet. So at the moment, we've kind of taken a hiatus. Nothing wrong with subtitles, just it's a little hard to focus on what's going on sometimes when you're reading everything. So we'll play it patient. We'll be patient with it, but we've really enjoyed our time with the first 2 seasons. So essentially what Demon Slayer is, if you guys don't know, it is a story about a young boy who is living with his family, and he essentially, works really hard to support his family, make sure they have enough money, resources, etc. to, live their life in the forest, just, being themselves and having a great time, stuff. He goes on a trip to sell his wares, and unfortunately when he returns home, his family has been killed by a demon. Whoa, you're kidding me. Demon Slayer, there's demons in this show. So he is dealing with the loss of his family. However, in the attack, his younger sister, the eldest of his siblings, she has been turned into a demon herself. And it's the story about his journey to try and restore her back to humanity. She is the demon, has the demon's weaknesses, strengths, etc. But she is different than the other demons. So the demons, they only come out at night. If they go in the sun, they will die. They will burn, die, perish. She's the same. But for some reason, she still has this connection to her brother. Maybe it's a strong familial bond. I don't know. She still has this bond with him to not attack people, essentially. And the demons, what they need to survive is human blood. They hunger for it. So they attack humans, they destroy them, they get more powerful as they, consume more people, yada, yada, yada. But for some reason, she is not like that. She knows what she's doing and just has the abilities of, the speed, the strength of the rest of the demons. So the whole story is him trying to help her to get back to humanity, to cure her. And the way that he's going to do this is to become a part of the Demon Slayer Corps, which is like a secret, not military group, but secret group, secret society that protects the rest of humanity from these demons, keeps them protected, safe, stuff like that. So he's going to join them to try and understand more about the demons, figure out the whole situation, whatever from there. And I think this show hooked us early on because it's not like other animes that we've watched where, obviously My Hero and Dragon Ball, like, the hero's journey is there. Obviously, they have their motivations. Goku wants to be this champion in the tournament and, become stronger. And then Deku is the same way. He wants to learn about how to become a hero from getting his power, his, quirk, and then, doing the right thing with it. And this show has a lot of parallels to those where it's the same idea. Tanjiro, is that his name? Wow. Yeah, I'm really bad with names, so I apologize. Yes, Tanjiro, our main character here. He's the same, like, conceptually as them of, like, I want to get stronger, I want to be better, I want to help people. But I think something that this show does that the others don't is it's very serious in tone. And for like a good chunk of it at the beginning, it's very heavily story based and like is taking itself very seriously. Now, the other shows, like a My Hero, for example, I'm just going to use this one as my best example because this seems like, at least to me personally, this seems like the biggest parallel where they share a lot of similarities and go along the same path. Deku is very emotional early on in the show. I think we joked about it podcast upon podcast ago of like, we almost stopped watching My Hero because Deku was just crying all the time. Like everything was the end of the world and he's crying about like his arm. I don't know. While Tanjiro is also emotional, he'll become more emotional later on in the show as the series continues, but his determination, like he sucks it up and he gets the job done or he gets to action. Not that Deku doesn't do that, but early on in the show, a different side of the story for him. So seeing Tanjiro go forward and tackle these challenges is really cool. Makes it, you want to see him succeed. And also just like the severity of the situation, like how threatening the demons are to him and his sister and his livelihood surviving. It takes itself seriously, which makes it interesting. It's not a joke. And there are some points that will come on later on in the show where it's like, oh, all right, well, this sounds wrong of me to say, but the typical anime thing where like there's a character that's the butt of the joke or like is this way over the top character. And in this show, it's Zenitsu. And he's not going to show up for a while, at least in a main forefront, but he's going to become a good friend of Tanjiro. And he can be a great character and a character you want to root for because he has a lot of weaknesses and downsides, and like seeing him overcome that and seeing what he can do and his abilities is like, oh shit, good for you, go. But then there's a lot of time where he's just over the top, whether it's emotions or actions that he's doing. It's like this comedy role or like he's there for the comic relief and it doesn't fit, or it's just like it takes you out of that story and like not enjoying it, because I can see how some people would like this character, and there's times I'm laughing at it too, but then there's other times I'm just like, hey, okay, yep, let's keep going, just gotta get through him going through his monologue or his talk or whatever. And it's moments like that where it's like, I don't like it, but it's the other side of the coin that makes this series very interesting, is seeing the different character abilities and their motivations and the seriousness of tone. I think that's the big thing. Like I keep going back to seriousness and tone that makes this show interesting. And there's other characters that we're going to meet along the way that also pique interest. Inosuke is going to join in later on. And yeah, he's a little bit gimmicky too, a little bit comical and over the top, but I don't feel he's like the off-putting kind like Zenitsu is, where it's like, dude, collect yourself. He's like over the top of like just bullhead strong, like just trying to be the best there is kind of thing. And then you get into the Hashira, which are like this elite
pig-headed, if you will,
for Inosuke, yes. And then you get into the Hashira, which are really interesting characters, similar to, once again, to My Hero. I'm going to draw parallels here to the top rated heroes, like an All Might, like an Eraserhead, like Best Genius. Like they're the heroes that like they're trying to work up to in the three, our main characters of Tanjiro, Zenitsu, and Inosuke. Like these are what they want to be, that next level. And it could be the allure of like, oh shit, we don't know a lot about these characters, so it's kind of like that mystery element. But through their reveal, it's like, oh, we've seen what Tanjiro can do, and it's really cool. What can these guys do? And season 2 kind of allows us to see that a little bit, as we'll follow one of them, Rengoku, and we see his abilities and what he's able to do, and it's insane. He's a really fun character. He's very interesting with his personality, and seeing his abilities in combat, it's dope as fuck. So including these characters in there just like makes you want more and more. Like, I want to see what, Tomioka can do. We've seen glimpses of him, but what can he really do? And then we get like Shinobu, the insect Hashira. Like, she's helped out from time to time. At one point I was like, you're a little sadistic and I don't know how to feel about you. But like, seeing her support the main characters and make them better, it's fun. And I'm excited to learn more about the rest of the Hashira and figure that out. Now we get to the bad guys. And along with the serious tone of the show, I think this show does a great job of having bad guys that are like interesting enough and feel threatening enough. Now, granted, some of these guys are like dust in the wind. You see them and then it's like, oh, you're gone. But then there's other guys where we'll get these short arcs or stints of episodes where they're around for a little while and it's kind of like a journey to get through them. And that feels great to see, because it's not just, oh, I'm super powered, I'm going to punch you once and then haha, it's all over. There's the growth there. We see their motivations and we see what they can do to wreck our hero's shit. But then we see obviously the conclusion of it, of like, this was a really big fight. You had to learn something about yourself for this. Now, there's some lower level demons. They got a whole pay scale, not really, skill level here of like, you get your jobber demons. These are the ones you're just going to go in and they're the missions. But then as the show continues, you learn about like this elite 12 that our main demon, our main villain, kind of has under his wing. And even seeing the scale from the lower 6 to the upper 6 of different skills and abilities is compelling. In the first season, we're going to see one of the lower 6 and his family of like arachnid-esque demons. And it's a big threat. Like, how are our heroes going to deal with that? And the show does a great job of like not... I mentioned the arcs for these villains, not like overextending it where it's like this whole season is this one enemy and it's going to take forever for us to make progress. They do a good job of like 4 to 5 episode like clusters, it feels, where a lot will happen in that time period and everything feels very what's the word? Organic, I guess you could say, and earned. It doesn't feel like anything is rushed, and it doesn't feel like anything goes on for too long. There are high points, there are low points, and we see the struggles back and forth between the good side and the bad side. And I think this spider group was definitely a strong point. Towards the end of season 2, we kind of get a tease and a little bit of a glimpse at one of the upper 6 demons in Akaza. And Akaza is an interesting character because we don't know much about him, but seeing the threat level of his power just like kind of gives us a glimpse in the future of like what we are dealing with, or what the characters are dealing with down the road, and how big of an obstacle this is to overcome, to take down obviously the 12 along with the top man. And it's insane. So excited to see where Akaza and the rest of our demons, when we eventually find out who the fuck they are and see how that takes place. But yeah, overall the show's been a lot of fun. Really enjoying it. Excited to jump back into season 3 when we have the chance to see it. The movie as well, I'm excited to see where that fits in the timeline. I think I need to do a little bit more research, see if that comes after Entertainment Arc, or maybe if we skipped ahead and that's something prior. But yeah, the show has done a great job of making me want to dive in more. Also, shout out to Momochi Cosplays on Instagram. I've seen these characters for a while through her cosplays. She's a big Akaza fan, a Inosuke fan, and I've seen these characters. I'm like, okay, I don't know what the fuck this show is, but okay, it must be something good. And I'm really glad that Lady and I have finally given it a chance and decided to sit down and watch it. And it just makes me want to absorb more, learn more about obviously the characters that we know through the main story, but also like learn more about these characters we don't know. I think they got a video game out, and I'm like, oh, maybe I should check the game out and dive into that. Similar to a My Hero thing where I was like, yep, let's go. So yeah, I'm excited to see where this show goes from here. I would definitely recommend people give it a try. I think season 1 is on Netflix, and all of it is on Funimation/Crunchyroll, depending on their deal now. So you give it a try over there. Like I said, it's different from other anime where it has this more serious tone, I feel, at least at the beginning. So I feel it's not as much of a joke as some other anime are. And I know I'm probably pissing off a lot of anime fans when I say that, but like some people are either way over the top in other anime or like it's very sexualized and stuff like that. Don't get me wrong, there'll be stuff that's like that, but it's not all the time, which I appreciate. And I think that helps this show. But yeah, I'm just excited to invest more into that world, and I've been enjoying my time or our time watching it. So just kind of wanted to gush over it a little bit of Demon Slayer. But yeah, that's been another episode of the Wait, What Are We Talking About podcast. My name is Bret, aka Enigma911. And normally you can catch this podcast live over on twitch.tv/Enigma911 every Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern. You join the chat if you're a subscriber over there. We'd love to have you in on the conversation. But if you can't catch live, that's A-OK. Go over to YouTube and podcast services the very next week, where it's broken out topic by topic and put as one big video and MP3 for your amusement on the following Friday. Last but not least, #ad merch store. Get all of your swag over there. T-shirts, cups, backpacks, and more. Rep the brand. Support us, and we would love you for it. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me today, giving this a watch, giving this a listen. Next episode's probably going to be another solo one, so hopefully you're not sick of me yet. But don't worry, we'll be getting some more fun guests coming up in the next month and have some fun conversations with them. But once again, thanks for giving this the time, giving this a chance. Hope you guys enjoyed, and we will see you guys on the next one. Take care.